Belgium pulled off this World Cup's biggest comeback win. It came over Senegal and they won it 3-2 after a late penalty deep in added time of extra time. But the stats show that Senegal probably should have won this game. It all came down to the dying moments, but was it a penalty? Belgium awarded it after a VAR review. 125 minutes, making it the latest goal in the history of World Cup finals. But did Lamine Camara's right leg catch Yuri Tielemans' left boot? VAR review there. Andy, what was your make on the call here?
Well, I can get it and understand it if it was given in real time by the on-field referee, but I don't think there was enough in the challenge to be given as a VAR overturn. I think there was contact. The defender doesn't play the ball. He does make contact at the back of the calf of Tielemans. But ultimately, I'm surprised it went to VAR. And when you're talking about a situation in such an important time of the game, I don't think it was a VAR intervention. I think Senegal can feel really unfortunate they've been gone against in that situation.
So I'm totally conflicted here, by the way, Andy. So how on the one hand can we say that he's caught him in the calf, but then it shouldn't be a foul? How's that? That makes no logical sense to me. How's that
when we
possible?
talk about intervention, we're talking about clear and obvious errors, Steve, aren't we, in terms of a VAR intervention? And at this World Cup, we've seen a really high bar in terms of when the VAR get involved and when they don't.
Okay, no,
there was contact. You can't say there wasn't. But ultimately, was it enough to be given a referee in terms of going to the screen and looking at it on field? If the referee gives it, I can buy into it. I've got no problem with it, but I just don't understand why it was a VAR overturn.
Right. So you have a problem that it went to VAR. However, when it goes to VAR, are you saying that it's a foul? Now that you've actually made that decision to go to VAR, the referee surely has to give the penalty, right?
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think once the referee gets sent to the screen and he's seen the pictures of the contact in the back of the leg, I think there's only going to be one outcome. Right. I just don't think there was any need for VAR to get involved and ask the referee to go and really look at the situation. Obviously
a big moment and a game-defining moment. Jermaine, what did you make of it?
Look, in the first place, I looked at it and I said, in real life, I was like, it's a little bit soft. Then yes, then again, we talk about it. We go to the VR, we look at the videos, and then you see in one angle, you can see that he get hit on his calf. The question is then, is that hit so strong that he has to go down? Then it's difficult to say. Like, yeah, you see that he get hit. But but he goes just the same like with Kane when he goes down. Like he gets a little bit touched, but he clearly goes down and he wants to get a penalty out of it. So and it was not a foul. So it's difficult now, and I think I am not a fan of the VR because I always said that like back in the days you had the situations, and now it comes that we had discussed about stuff. Where it's like, is it a foul? Is it not a foul? The referee on the field, he maybe don't see it. He's maybe seen it. Then he gets overcalled from the ring, from the people back in the studio, and that's just for me like where I'm like, okay, then you're waiting for minutes till the decision comes out, and I think that breaks this game. It's not good for the game, and I really personal, I hate it.
Right, little switch up on the glasses there, Jermaine. We saw that one after a VAR review. yeah, we saw those mirror ones changed. Ali, you're a defender?
Yeah, I just think, players just have to be smarter in the situations. I'm looking at the photo, the still photo, and you make it back there, but you have 3 other defenders surrounding you, plus the 6th that drops in. I just think you have to be smarter in those situations because as a forward or a midfielder, when they get into those situations, of course they're going to be a bit dramatic. Of course they're going to try to get that call because they know that this potentially could happen as a PK, no matter if you touch them slightly or not. I just think he could have been a lot smarter in that situation where he did actually have cover who was coming across. Because they were really organized in that situation, and so I was really I thought that was a tough call and upset that he made that decision to go down and try to tackle and make a dream play.
Shaka, this was heartbreaking for Senegal.
It was.
Were they robbed?
I don't think so. I thought it was a penalty, and I'll go further and I'll say I thought it was a good use of VAR. I will say at first look in real time, I thought no penalty. I thought. Tielemans was trying to let the ball run across him and kind of play for the contact. That ball wasn't really in playing distance, and so no penalty was the right decision. But then you look at the replays, you look at the video, you look at the photo behind us. The ball is an inch away from Tielemans' foot. So it's very much in plain distance, which is not how I felt seeing it in real time. So the ball was there to be played, and Kamara commits to the challenge. And while the contact may be slight, Tielemans is in position to play the ball. Kamara arrives slightly later, but he catches the backside of Tielemans' left foot. And once he makes that contact, then, yeah, I think the referee is well justified, or VAR is well justified to call on the referee. And once the referee sees that, I don't think he had another decision to make but to point to the spot.
Ali's spot on. Defender's on the wrong side. And when you get caught on the wrong side, if you're going to make a challenge, you have to get it 100% spot on. And he didn't. So I think it's a great call.
OK, something else we saw in this game that we wanted to bring to the panel, especially as them all being ex-players. Those sat with me here, and Jermaine, of course. Youri Tielemans and Leandro Trossard getting into it at the second half water break. Really were a little bit frustrated with each other, it would seem. However, when it came to Youri Tielemans' 2-2 equaliser, the assist, Leandro Trossard. So we want to talk about these moments. There's a lot made of it. Is this normal? Are these the things that we see in games like this?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think this is nothing to be worried about. This is healthy competitiveness, and they're winners. They're playing at the highest level. They're so experienced. They're extremely talented. They want to carry the team and create these moments of brilliance, which they ended up doing in the end. So you can be friends now after the game and back. But this is how teammates are. This is a part of the game, and I have no issue with it.
Did you ever have a moment like this, Jermaine, where you end up fighting with one of your teammates, but by the end of the game you're celebrating with one another?
Oh yeah, you know, I always said that you do that with your brothers, right? Like you always have that, you know, there's competitiveness in, you know, like, and I remember back in the days I was with Huntelaar. He hated running, but he scored a lot of goals. So, and sometimes you had to, you know, tell him that, and he don't like to hear that stuff, and then you would go against each other for a couple of seconds, but then at the end you were able to see it, and even in the Belgium side, you know, how they celebrated then the goal, and I like to see stuff like that because it tells you that they're winners. They do everything for the win, even if they have to go against each other for a couple seconds or for like in a game or in training. But at the end, it's normal and it's part of the game.
Shaq?
Yeah, I totally agree. This happens far more often, I think, than we realise. I probably expected it to happen more in this World Cup. I think what makes this different or stand out in the way that it does is because of those hydration breaks. Normally it happens in the quiet of the dressing room at halftime. Or, to use Jermaine's example, he shouted at Huntelaar from 20 yards away because Jermaine's in position, Huntelaar's in position. If you have something to say, you're shouting it. So there's never this kind of direct confrontation that the hydration break kind of offered for these two players. But it happens a lot. I read nothing into it. You see the response. If you're Rudy Garcia, that's exactly what you're hoping for. If you're Belgium and support this team in any way, that's what you're hoping to see. That's what you're hoping the team is able to rebound.
You've never got frustrated with anyone, have you, Stevie?
Absolutely. 100%.
Except Dan. Well, as a player, no. But Dan, yes.
Has Dan ever frustrated him as regularly as the 2026 World Cup? I just don't think so.
You're no kid. I used to have a tete-a-tete nearly every game with a guy called John Sheridan. I was playing centre-back, he was playing centre-mid, and all game we'd be shouting at each other because he would say I was too deep, and I would say he's not deep enough. And we'd be at it. Any chance we got, when the ball went out of play, it would be like one of them, hey, you going to get in? And he'd be like, no, you get yourself up here. I mean, it was constant. But then, game's done, it's over. We're back to normal.
But I also think that, like, it's not a disrespect to each other, right? You actually respect each other in that moment because you're demanding more from your teammate because you know how good they can be. Yeah. And I think that's the expectation that I think you just push each other to be better out there. And that was a moment, a perfect example of it.